My name is Alexis Stefaniak, and I currently attend medical school at Loyola University Chicago Stritch School of Medicine. And my hometown is Channahon, Illinois, which is about an hour south of Chicago.
My name is Christensen. I'm a fourth-year medical student at Des Moines University in the state of Iowa. I grew up in Iowa over by Cedar Rapids on the eastern side of the state in a really small town called Blairstown.
My name is Derek Lahm. I go to the University of Nebraska Medical Center, and I grew up in Columbus, Nebraska, about an hour and a half west of Omaha.
I chose to visit UW-Madison because I had heard a lot of great things about residents who had gone through the application process, and they said a lot about how UW has a great community of support and collaboration that really resonated with me. In addition, I've always been interested in global health, and I knew that UW has a strong global health presence, specifically with ophthalmology. So I wanted to kind of network with some folks at UW and see what opportunities were available from that perspective.
I was to go to UW-Madison for a rotation for two reasons. One, I had familiarity with the area, some friends and family in southwest Wisconsin, kind of near Janesville and up towards Sheboygan, Wisconsin. Knowing that the department has a great reputation, that was the second reason why I went here, and I'm very, very glad with that decision.
I chose to do my away rotation in Madison because I'd heard good things about the program, like Alexis said. I know that the residents get a really good surgical exposure there. I wanted to stay in the Midwest for residency, and Madison obviously fits that bill. Big Ten football is also kind of a draw. It was in the middle of football season. Didn't get to go to a game, but I think if I did it in any other time besides COVID, I would have definitely got to a Badgers game.
I think one of the main things I gained from the away rotation at UW was my ability to utilize the slit lamp more effectively than I had been able to prior to coming on this rotation. I feel like a lot of the attendings were really helpful when it came to little tips and tricks with maneuvering the slit lamp and different things to look for. So that's definitely one of my main takeaways. And then I was also able to get into the OR a lot and actually scrub into the procedures, which was something that I'd never been able to do on previous rotations. And that was exciting for me because things look a lot different at the microscope than they do when you're watching on a computer screen. And I really feel like the attendings and the residents would talk me through the steps and why they were doing what they were doing. And it really just helped me understand cataract surgery better in a 3D space.
One thing that I learned or took away from this rotation was the variety of experiences or exposure to every subspecialty of ophthalmology here at UW-Madison. That was huge. From uveitis to retina, you have an opportunity to kind of hone in your skills in all these different areas, from, like Alexis said, with the slit lamp or in the OR, but also with the 20 and the 90 diopter lenses looking in the back of the eye. So that was a great opportunity here during this rotation.
I had a fantastic experience in Madison. I was actually staying with a woman who lived about 5 minutes away from campus. So I was actually able to walk to the hospital when I had clinics that were close to the hospital at University Station. And it was fall, so I did my rotation in October, and it was awesome just to be able to experience fall in Madison and see all the color changes. I was able to go to a Badgers game. I'm a big college football fan. I went to Notre Dame for undergrad, so football has always been a big part of my college experience, and I really wanted to experience that at another undergraduate institution, and it was so much fun. I had always heard things about jump around, and I was glad that I got to actually experience that in person. I feel like during my weekends, I would just explore different things in Madison that I had heard about from friends and people who had visited before. So one of the main things in the fall was the farmers market. I actually went a couple of times and got to explore that, which was really awesome. I also went on a couple of runs at the UW Arboretum, and I got to explore the zoo as well.
Madison's definitely a cool town, city, something in between those two. At least it feels similar to Des Moines, but a lot better in many ways. Like size similar to Des Moines. It definitely has its own little culture, especially near the Capitol Square area. So many cool shops and restaurants, and just you can walk around and find something fun you'd like to do. Got to walk around, see both of the lakes, and then I think Derek, Alexis, and I, we all went to the Old Fashioned, which is a restaurant near the Capitol, and so we got to have some Wisconsin cheese curds, and they did not disappoint us.
Yeah, there's lots of really great places to eat. Pretty cool restaurants, especially for younger adults. got to try some squeaky cheese at the farmer's market. My wife came and visited for a weekend, and so we checked that out.
I guess time frame here, we just finished up interviews for ophthalmology residency, so the three of us all want to go on to be ophthalmologists, I'm sure of it. I think personally I would like to go on to a fellowship. I don't know what in yet, but maybe end up somewhere in the Midwest, whether it's at an academic institution or private practice. I'm still undecided, but just like Derek said, I need to be at a place that's going to train me as a comprehensive ophthalmologist, and then kind of decide from there what field I'd like to go into.
I'm a Midwesterner through and through. I grew up in the Midwest. I did my undergrad in the Midwest, and then I did medical school in the Midwest. So I ideally would love to end up in the Midwest for residency. A lot of that's for family reasons. And I really like the people here. And I would say my number one goal is to really figure out how I want to practice ophthalmology in the future. I think that I could go one of two ways. One of the routes would be comprehensive ophthalmology. I definitely think that there's an appeal to doing comprehensive and kind of making my career what I want it to be. But I could also see myself pursuing a fellowship, particularly in cornea. I think I was really surprised by how much I liked cornea and what diverse pathology you can get just by being a cornea specialist. And then in addition, no matter which of those routes I go, I really want to somehow incorporate global health into my career.
So I've always wanted to practice rural medicine. So when I finish residency, I'd like to go back to a smaller community around 20 to 50,000, somewhere in the Midwest, and practice comprehensive ophthalmology. So the programs that I applied to and interviewed at and ranked highly were the programs that would train me well for comprehensive ophthalmology and allow me to practice in a smaller community.
Something that I would like to share with future students is to really make your experience what you want it to be. I've always been a firm believer in you get out of an experience whatever you put into it. So I feel like at UW, you will get a lot of autonomy, whether you kind of sit back and say that you want to shadow, or whether you're actually getting in there, seeing patients on your own. So again, it's a great learning environment because you have the support that you need, but you also have the autonomy that you need to grow as a student.
Something that I'd like to relay on to future students is you go to these big academic institutions, you wonder like, what questions am I going to be asked? Are people going to be arrogant, mean to me, or make you feel uncomfortable? And that's not the case at all. I didn't have a single attending or resident or staff member make me feel such a way at UW-Madison. They were all so friendly and incorporated you into the patient's care. It was great, including with the other visiting medical students. We all got along really well. It just made the whole experience very much more enjoyable when you get along with everybody around you. And I think it also is to the benefits of the patients too. So it's something I think you should consider when you're trying to decide where to do a visiting student rotation.
Yeah, I'd say with Madison being the Midwest, the people at UW-Madison were very welcoming, very kind. You could tell that they liked their lives, that they enjoyed doing what they were doing, and it was, an infectious type of culture that they had. At UW-Madison, they really allowed us to just hit the ground running. Whatever previous experience we had, they just cut us loose and let us do as much as we could. So the more previous experience, the better for that. I'd say if you're interested in golf and you like to golf and you want to golf, you have to check out University Ridge right there in Madison. But if you're going to check out University Ridge, you better make a tee time like a week in advance, because you're not going to find a tee time a couple days in advance. That was a mistake I made.